Hey guys, what is going on? Coach JR here of Lion Boxing Academy out here in Bangkok, Thailand. Welcome back to my channel, The Bangkok Lion. Today, I'm going to show you how to wrap your hands for boxing or Muay Thai. Now I know there's a lot of tutorials out here on YouTube about wrapping your hands, but today I'm going to show you the best way and why you need to wrap your hands in a certain way because of the hand anatomy, how the hand breaks, and all these things about injuries, right? Okay, so I'm gonna use a standard adult 180-inch wrap. I know some of y'all like it like rolled out like this. I like it rolled up this way so I can manage the length easily. I'm gonna start by pumping my hands first. I wanna get a good blood flow around my wrist area, my forearms, you know, just twisting it around, making sure nothing hurts as you do all these little playful things with your fingers and whatnot, right? Just moving it around. Now, when everything's okay, I want you to insert your thumb through this loop that's connected to the end of the wrap. Every time you do a wrap, you want to make sure your fingers are always open wide. The reason for that is because if you wrap your hands with your fingers closed like this, there's no leeway and it will be too tight. All right, so always make sure you wrap your hands with your fingers wide open like this. Now remember, we're not trying to pull. I don't want you to pull. I want you to simply lay that wrap flat and neatly. So we're gonna go 4 times around the wrist. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Once again, we're not pulling, okay? We're just laying it out gently, but you'll feel after 4 loops around that, you know, it grips pretty good. Now you're gonna go up to the pinky area right here, and we're gonna wrap the knuckles 4 times around, okay? So you go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now before I go on, I want you to make sure that your knuckles are in between the padding, okay? Because sometimes when you do it up too high like this and you punch, the padding area gets pushed back, or once you have a very tight glove on, it's gonna get pushed back. Now, after you wrap 4 times around the knuckles, always maintaining that wide, those wide fingers, allowing some space in the middle, you're gonna go back down to the wrist and onto the anchor area. We call this the anchor area right here. Okay, we're gonna start separating our fingers. So first is the pinky finger and the ring finger, right there. You're not gonna pull, you're just gonna lay it down. And when you get to your palm, you're not gonna go down this way. We don't want that extra cloth around your palm. We're gonna exit in between the index finger and the thumb. This way, okay? Not this way, this way. As you go down, before you pull a little bit, right? To get around the wrist, you're gonna make a tight fist, allowing once again some leeway, some space, so it's not too tight. You go up again, you separate the second set of fingers, which is in between your ring finger and your middle finger, just like so. So you can see everything is nice and neat, and I'm starting to produce an X weave around, which will protect my metacarpals, okay? So now I come down here, I go back around the wrist one more time, back to the anchor point, which is the part around the lowest part of your thumb right here. We're gonna separate the third set of fingers, which is in between the middle finger and the index finger. Same way, we're not going down here. We're gonna go back around, and now we're gonna capture that thumb, okay? You don't want it too high right here. You wanna make sure it's around the joint area. See? Half of that thumb is where half of that thumb in the lower area is where you're trying to wrap it, okay? Now, once again, close it. Sometimes, if you have some more, if the wrap is a little long, you can go back around the wrist and make an X pattern. But, you know, for some reason, sometimes it doesn't stretch as much. So you can finish off at the wrist area all the way to about another inch away from where you originally started from. So about right here. And then just finish it off and seal that Velcro. Now, from here, before you finish up, I want you to roll it up this way, tuck it in. So you got a nice little bar there to hold on to, along with the bar of the glove. Tuck this in, good ventilation. Now, if you see closely, if you watch closely, right? When I was separating my fingers, I was doing an X pattern right above the metacarpal. Now, the metacarpals are these 4 bones that's linking right in the middle, right here, and connected to your wrist. The metacarpals are usually the ones that gets broken when you're punching. When you punch and the impact goes like this, the metacarpals do not break sideways, it breaks upwards. And this is the reason why you gotta lay that X pattern down around your metacarpal area so that it has support when it tries to like break upwards, okay? Always make sure that you're trying to punch with your 2 biggest knuckles right here, because these are your biggest metacarpal bones, which is your index finger and your middle finger. These 2 right here are smaller, especially this one is quite weak. That's why when you punch and you punch with your around your thumb, I mean your pinky finger, this part usually breaks. You see that a lot in street fights and whatnot. So this is the reason why I love this kind of wrap, because it really pushes down on my metacarpals. It has a good padding this way, good ventilation. It supports my thumb. Now, there's also other ways of like wrapping your hands, especially if you have like specific injuries when you're training. Say for example, you have an injury on your thumb and you want to focus more on your thumb. You can wrap that twice or 3 times. It's up to you. If it's the knuckles, maybe you can use a gauze pad, or you can layer out the wrap first before you wrap your fingers. There's a lot of different ways. I'm just saying that for this particular way that I'm teaching you right now, this protects the metacarpals, the knuckles, and the thumb and the wrist perfectly. So there you go, practice. Thank you so much guys for watching. I appreciate y'all time, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Hope to see you soon. Peace.